What's going on, everyone? It's once again your boy, MP4Podcast.com. And Cliffy B has been on record saying that the PlayStation 4 has not won this console war. He may be right about this. The winner might actually turn out to be Xbox One. Now, when you really do think about it, do you think Microsoft was so stupid that they didn't know that they were going to have this backlash about the Xbox One and their draconian DRM? Of course they did. Of course they did. Now, let's talk about Cliffy B for a second. Yeah, he did say, a couple of months ago that PS4 was going to win because of the share button. People were going to upload videos. And a lot of people were saying that the PS4 was going to upload to YouTube. But then we found out that the PS4 is going to be uploading to Ustream. And the last time I checked, a lot of people don't really go over to Ustream for watching video games. I think it's more for bloggers or something. Yeah, there's probably some people, streaming video games, but Xbox One has implemented Twitch, and I think Twitch is a better service for gamers. But Twitch isn't even that big compared to YouTube. But but maybe Cliffy does have a little bit more information, because we're hearing what he's saying now after my last video, which I talked about the Xbox One, the anonymous engineer that works for Microsoft, and what he's really talking about, what Microsoft wants to do with the Xbox One. And basically what Microsoft wants to do with the Xbox One, they want to get a jump on the Steam box. They know that the Steam box is coming, okay? Now there is that other Steam box that they call the Piston, but it's not really made by Valve, but it's made with, I guess, Valve's specification for making a box or something like that. And that console is not really that cheap. It's made by a smaller company and so on. But what we know about Steam is that you get lots and lots and lots of cheap deals. And tell you the truth, I was never really comfortable about buying digital downloads on the computer, because I was always used to buying physical copies. I like the idea that I own a physical disc and so on. But this past November 2012, I was on Reddit and I saw somebody post the two Batman games, Batman Arkham City and Batman Arkham Asylum. And the Steam price for two games with all the DLC was $7 and like some change. I think it was like $7.40 or something, or 50 cents for something like that. And I was like, two of those games for $7. I don't care about the physical copy anymore. You understand what I'm saying? Also, in the way I think about things now is, we know that the Xbox One, sooner or later, those servers will be shut down. The PS3 servers will be shut down. So if I want the DLC for these, these multi-plats, especially the multi-plats, if I can get something on the Xbox 360 or the PS3, my DLC is more secure on Steam than it is on Xbox 360 or the PS3, and probably even the Nintendo Wii now. So if Microsoft can get the prices of Steam to the Xbox One, so Batman Origins, let's say within a year or so, they have a holiday sale, $5 for that game. It was $60 a year ago. Or even better yet, maybe they run a 2-day sale on Watch Dogs for the Xbox One. 2 months later, $10. So that might be in the works to bring those prices that cheap down. Now, I will say this. You don't hear about people complaining about buying games for iOS and there's no physical copies of those, and that's all DRM. But Apple does, in my opinion, does have better DRM than what we know about the Xbox One. You don't have to be online to play your iOS games, your Android games, you know, a lot of these other platforms where you download digital content. I think where Microsoft is kind of shooting themselves in the foot is the 24-hour lock-in, which is mandatory. If you download a game on Xbox One, it should be tied somewhat way. I know they have a sharing feature with the family with 10 members. Somehow it should be like locked in, so it doesn't have to check in. Also, you know, there's another way. If you watch that Major Nelson interview with, I think it's Reddit Games, that's their YouTube channel, that why can't you use the disc as a check-in to disapprove that you own the copy? Put the disc in. I mean, they have that with the Xbox 360. You know, you can install a game on the Xbox 360. I do it all the time because the CD drive on my Xbox 360 is pretty loud, and I prefer not to hear that thing. You know, so I just install my games to the hard drive, and when I start the game, the Xbox 360 just quickly scans the copy in there to make sure it's a legit copy, and then it goes directly over to the hard drive to run the game from there. So I don't know why Microsoft can't do that, and I'm even fine with Microsoft, always being online when there's an internet connection. So I just I plug into the internet, via Ethernet cord or Wi-Fi. And then that's it. It's always checking for the updates. So it's not like, I want to play this game, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I have to download a 200 meg update or a 300 meg update or whatever, or a system update. That's all done in the background. But the minute I lose internet connection, my system should never break. And I think that's where Microsoft's biggest problem with this DRM is where they're going with this system. However, if they go for the model which is Steam, there's a possibility they could, win the console war and, be more profitable, maybe even if they do sell less consoles than the PlayStation 4. Now, Cliffy B is saying that, these big especially the third-party titles, they can't sustain their budgets anymore with the used game market. And I've heard so many different things about, Battlefield, Call of Duty, used games. GameStop making like $70 million on used games from, Battlefield 3 and so on. That's a lot of chunk of change, and that money could go back into the developers. But there is something else that does seem to be a little weird about this whole used games. And this weird thing is that we know that the PC sales are way up now, especially with Steam and these amazing prices like Green Man, Gamersgate, and so on. How come there isn't a developer right now trying to explore, why don't we just push the PC hardware to its max and don't even worry about making ports to the Xbox or PlayStation brand at all? Just completely be a PC developer and maybe optimize your games to at least run on 3 to 4 year old hardware. Okay, so if a video card came out 4 years ago or 3 years ago, at least make the game run at those specs at the lowest minimum so people could still buy it. And see where the hardware can go with PC gaming. Because I would love to see a game in the works say, hey, we're putting on a game, and some companies can say, hey, you're going to need hardware that's at least 2 years old. I mean, that'd be pretty cool. And then a year later, I mean, maybe people will be like, yeah, I'm going to buy that because now it's on Steam for like $5-10. Let's say Tomb Raider, the reboot of Tomb Raider, let's say they make the second one, right? And they're saying right now, they're working on a game, the Tomb Raider game, and we're building the game to utilize the hardware, the most current hardware that's available for the PC as of today. But the game's coming out 2 years from now, okay? So 2 years from now, the hardware which they basically designed it for You know, it's old, you know, but I mean, you could probably still run it at higher resolutions and, you know, a little bit better frame rates with even newer hardware. But just hear me out. It was designed for the hardware which is out right now. So then the game comes out, they sell it for $60 on Steam, blah blah blah, all these other websites, and people are completely blown away, right? Year goes by, that hardware is a little bit more affordable. People have upgraded. They buy the game on Steam, 10, 15 bucks, whatever the sale is. You know, 2 years from now, like two years from now, I mean 2 years after the release of the game, that game's $5, you know, whatever, on Steam holiday sale, $7 on sale, because people will know this is one of the games where it's going to blow away graphically anything that you've ever seen. So I think there is a time for the PC to have amazing exclusives that, you know, you don't need consoles anymore. And that's the way PC gaming was back in the 90s with amazing first-person shooters. You didn't get those games on, you know, Nintendo 64, PlayStation 1, or the Sega Saturn. Those systems were a little bit more designed for different types of gaming. Even though, yeah, they could do 3D gaming, they weren't really great at first-person shooters yet. And I'd probably say the best ones that did come out were GoldenEye and Perfect Dark Zero for first-person shooters at that time. And there were a couple of first-person shooters for, you know, the PlayStation 1 or also the Sega Saturn, but they were more like D-pad controls. But I really do think there is a time right now for PC gaming to come back and not have to worry about console gaming. And you know, Crytek did it, you know, with the first Crisis, but it wasn't the right time. It was a time where Steam probably wasn't, you know, that popular. It was kind of like, kind of in the middle of where they wanted to go with retail and, you know, and digital distribution. It was kind of like physical copies of Crisis 1 weren't selling that well, and Steam sales probably weren't that great, and so they were like, oh, we're going to console. It was the wrong time. They did see the future, but they, you know, they had to wait another 4 years or so. And I think right now it is time for the PC to go PC's exclusives for amazing games. But I do think, you know, to get back on topic of what this video is really about, why I'm making it, I think the Xbox One, if they go for the model, the Steam sale model, I think the Xbox One can be very successful. And it's going to be a little hard because I do think that Microsoft knew about all this backlash. They had to know about all this shit, but they got a plan in place of where they want to take the Xbox One. So, yeah, the reason why I'm playing Jet Set Joyride, I'm using PlayStation footage, is because my PlayStation was hooked up to my AVR Media Game Capture HD. So it's kind of funny I'm talking about Xbox, but I'm using PlayStation 3 footage, whatever. But anyway, guys, if you're new to my videos, hit that subscribe button. Always doing new videos all the time. So once again, guys, you guys have yourself an awesome day. Take care, guys. Later, guys. Bye.